Where are we now? I don't know what happened there. Greetings. Welcome. 5 Play Friday Live. We are looking at plays. I hope the sound issue is resolved. All right. Excellent. Oh, how's everybody? Greg Becker in the house. Good to see you. Greg Handy. Awesome. It's all Gregs all the time. Who could ask for anything more?
Sound is good.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, the tech team let us down on the sound front. What are we going to do? Latrell, it's back. It's great to be back together. Uh-oh. See, now we have to question judgment, right? If Greg is gonna talk about the Eagles, we'll see later in the season. We'll see. We'll see down the road. Obviously, a strong squad. Yes, Greg. The mind is willing, but is the flesh weak? Mark heading to Cincy. Mike Goodwin from the frosty confines. Hope all is well up north. Tom Hickey's in the house from Milwaukee. Jason Hayes dipping in briefly. Good to see you, Jason. And yes, Zooch. It's a takeover, right? It's a coffee takeover, right? You know when you take over somebody's social media? The Zooch made the move. Appreciate it, and much love, Zooch. Awesome. Billy Mack is in the house, so we're good to go. He did. He's our sponsor today. Who's this guy from South Dakota? What? Chris Janish in the house. Excellent. Billy Mack starting next Thursday. How did that preseason meeting go with all the new rules and shot clocks, did you say? Thomas Hennian is in the house. Great to see you. Awesome. I'm super excited. Okay. All right. I've got another easy show today. We're going to look at best of plays. But let me figure out where I am. Let me see these things. What do we got here? Oh, you know how you have your referee bag? Maybe it's been, or like your backup bag. My backup bag. Of course, everybody should have a backup bag with all the things, not only potentially for yourself but for your partners. You have it in the car. You stow it away. It's concise. But how often do we open that thing up? Not too often. So I am opening up the show attributes here, and it's like, whoa, didn't know I put that in there. Jason Hayes loves the new rules, new throw-in spots. Thomas disagrees, says it's making the games longer. Let the skirmish begin in the chat. Oh, we are feeling good. Okay. I am here. Yeah, that should be down low. What did we learn from last week? I need to turn my volume down. When we get to plays, I think I'm ready to go. Go. Okay. All right. All right. As the season starts, we are looking back. We're looking at best of plays from last season on 5 Play Friday. Right? Yeah. Da-da. Bum, bum. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that is the one. Yeah. Okay. All right, we are starting the season by looking back at best of plays from last season. Let's go. Let's look at plays. Stick around. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to 5 Play Friday, where we look at plays, try to get better as basketball officials by looking at all the habits, fundamentals, rules, scenarios that crop up. Analyzing your game video is the number one way to improve as a basketball official. And without delay, let's look at our first play. Or I do not hear audio. Safe to say the audio did not come through there? Okay. Ay, ay, ay. All right, we're having fun. We are live. Okay, awesome. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, Mike Connors is in the house. What are you going to do? Uh, hmm. Okay. Thank you. Ay, ay, ay. Let's try this. I don't want to go there. All right. All right. I think I got things figured out here. All right. So obviously, this play, calling official got this wrong. It's hard to swallow that this is the NFHS approach. Hold on one second. Let's go there. That's supposed to be playing there. Right, right, right. Whew. That is a good question, Billy Mack. I don't know the vagaries of the YouTube situation. Thank you, everybody, for helping me work through those audio issues. No. Never unsubscribe. No. Maybe turn notifications off and then turn it back on. Something like that would be a solution. That goes there. All right, that play from last season, the trail official got it wrong. Hard to fathom how NFHS has this interpretation. It doesn't make sense logically to some who watch basketball, but that is the NFHS ruling in this scenario. All right, with that, let's move on to our next play. Radio check. 1, 2. To me, this habits and fundamentals. All right. Okay. All right. Plan B. Plan B. Plan B. Piss me off. What happens if I do this? Okay. That's not going to work. All right. All right, another transition, block charge play, similar, again, high quality video from South Dakota, right? To me, this is a habits and fundamentals video clip, right? Was this a block? Was this a charge? That's great. But if we're looking at habits and fundamentals, comparing it to the previous play, right? Do we see the proper energy by the officials on this play that we had on the previous play, right? Are we in the right position, or does the play sort of surprise the lead official, the new lead, right? And is this something that I'm guilty of as well? Have I disconnected from the play, taken a little moment away from officiating the game? Maybe I glance at the clock, see where I'm going to go, etc. Right? So if we look at this play, right, our new lead not really engaged with what is potentially going to happen next, ultimately ends up at a spot on the floor that's a good spot to officiate the play. But if we had gotten there sooner, maybe we have a better look at the play. To me, this is a blocking foul. That's to me. But again, it's 50-50. But we always want to be in the best possible position to make calls and exert the right amount of energy relative to the game. This play sort of surprises when it's thrown ahead, when the ball is thrown ahead. But we need to have more energy getting to the end line, getting into position, receiving the play. We notice our center official similarly does not have the appropriate energy for the play, right? And it's really straightforward. We officiate our game. We make judgments about how this play is going to develop, what pace we can use to get into position on a play. Sometimes we are wrong, right? And we have simply not given the play the energy needed. And maybe it's a habitual action on our part. And that's something we can look at and get better as basketball officials by being honest. Does this similar energy moving from trail to new lead, do I ever display this in my game, right? And why do I display this in my game? Did I make a judgment? I didn't think they were going to push the ball, and it just caught me by surprise. Sometimes we run away from plays thinking, I have to get to the end line really quickly, but there was a steal at midcourt, and we're a little disconnected from the play itself, right? So that's why we look at our game video, analyze all of the things. So I have a blocking foul on this play. I don't feel that the defender is legal in the path of our ball handler, but I could be talked out of it. You know me. Ay, ay, ay. So difficult. Why is this so hard? Let's see. My sound is good. Yes? That was brutal. Ay, ay, ay. Chris, excellent point. I mean, it's just, and, let's look in our own video vault of all of the plays that we've officiated, let's say all over last season. Were there any plays as new lead where we didn't do the right things in the right order in the right time? Of course, right? It's going to happen, but we just need to have more energy and awareness of what's going on in the game so that we can get in position and not be surprised. Yes, we are up in the bleachers, right? If we look at the play itself, he does move into, right? So which direction is 35 going? That's what I would say. Which direction is 35 going? Right? He's going in a lateral direction. Does our defender get themselves into the path? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Okay, so I'm going to do play number 3, but then I'm going to go to, give me just a second here. I'll set it up. Maybe it won't be such a disaster. I apologize for the issues. I know it's probably hard to watch live. I'm going to put this play into this scene. Let's see what happens. Let's look at play number 3.
But they took away what had been Virginia's advantage, making a few key threes. 6 of their own to Virginia's 7 now. And equalizing that has made a difference.
All right, lots going on this play. We've got multiple fouls. We've got players who are flailing, throwing their heads back, trying to fool the ref. Obviously, two players who do not like each other. And we've got habits and fundamentals by the calling official. This play is rich with all of the things. How are we going to adjudicate this play by rule? What can we take away from the calling official? In this instance, this is obviously a collegiate game. They have the opportunity to go to the monitor to resolve this. We would not have this in our game at the high school level, the ability to do that. We have to make a ruling on the play, on its merits. Let's take a look at, as we like to say, all of the things, right? We've got screening action. We've got a player on the floor who grabs the screener's leg. We have a retaliatory action by the screener, a kick. How are we going to adjudicate those fouls in this situation? And what are the behaviors of the players? What are the habits and fundamentals of the calling official, which are really, really exemplary in this situation, right? We've got the explosion that occurs in front of them, and then the ball is going away, right? Would we go with the ball, or are we going to stay with the action that this situation is providing? Our calling official stays with that action and sees the kick. I'm sure they had a perception of, I don't know, would they have a perception of the holding the two legs together? Would the center official be able to come in and provide information in this situation? If we have one action, what's the ruling on the player who grabs the leg with their legs? What kind of foul is that? Is that a common foul, intentional foul, flagrant foul, right? The resulting retaliatory action, is that a common foul, an intentional foul, or a flagrant foul, or something more, right? So, great stuff on this play. Here's what I have on this play. First of all, right, if we look at the screening action, is there anything about this screen that is illegal? No. This is a legal screen. We have a player who sees the screen, runs into the screen, and then throws her head back. Was the throw of the head back related to the contact? No. The screener then throws her head back. Was the throw of her head related to the contact? No. We've got two players who are attempting to fool the ref in this situation. Our player on the ground grabs the leg, right? That is a foul. What kind of foul is it? The retaliatory kick. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. What kind of foul is that? How can we piece this together as a crew? Okay, in my judgment, this grabbing of the player's foot by the legs is an intentional foul by rule. This action, the retaliatory action of kicking, is a flagrant foul for fighting by rule. It's flagrant. It's a fighting action. Fighting is described as forcibly kicking, elbowing, punching, etc. To me, it arises to that level. How would we adjudicate this play? This is going to be hard, man. To me, I'm going to come out of this. We have a foul that is a double foul. We have an intentional and we have a flagrant for fighting. And that was the ruling in this situation. They had the chance to go to the monitor and look at all the things. If we came together with a crew as a crew and identified the action by the player on the floor and the subsequent kicking action, that would be our ruling. How would we come out of this play? One player would be disqualified by rule. There would be offset. We've got team control by White. White throw in nearest where the ball was on this play. Lots going on here. What a key takeaway is that when that energy rose on the court and the situation occurred on the floor, our official stayed with that and did not stay with the basketball, therefore allowing them to see the kick. Obviously, at other levels where monitors are available, the discipline of doing that is lessened because they can always go back and go to the monitor and they have that available to them, and we do not as high school officials. But a great play to learn from, and one that would hopefully we could put it together as a crew and get things right. Man, that's quite a play. Quite a play indeed. All right, that was a great play scenario. We see the events unfold. The key takeaway for me is that the calling official saw the subsequent action, saw the kick, was not, stayed with that action on the floor, which is super critical that we do in that situation. This is a situation we're potentially going to need to come together as a crew and piece together what has occurred on this play using information from all of the officials, come up with a ruling, go present that ruling, and then move forward with the game. Okay. All right. Tom asks there is no specific signal for flagrant, right? So, intentional and then upgrade from there, but there is no specific signal for flagrant. Tom asks, how can we get offsetting, right? So that's a great question, right? We know that in high school, if a player has a technical foul action, player A1 says, I got you. Hold on just a second. There we go. If A1 makes an unsporting comment to B1 and B1 then punches A1 in the face, both players are disqualified for fighting. If we have a foul that leads to a retaliatory flagrant action for fighting, that's not outlined as being both players are disqualified for fighting. It's going to become a judgment situation. Did I say technical? Both actions would be flagrant, or both actions would be live ball action on the play. So if we have a foul, basically a double foul scenario, which I think we can put this into the double foul bucket. The actions don't have to be the same, right? So you can have, let's say two players are engaged for rebounding. One player, they engage, they lock arms. One player grabs, and then the other player violently shoves with the elbow, right? But it's like all combined, right? You could say we have a double foul in that situation. This kind of foul on this player, this kind of foul on this player. That's an option we would have by rule. Yeah, they will often, Jordan. I would put it that way. They will often, and you need to identify your embellishers early, right? Some players, like you're 30 seconds into the game, and it's like, okay, all right, you've told me what kind of player you are. Then I cannot trust your actions, right, to help me tell me what happened on a play. That you are going to, by default, try, because you've built things into your game that are designed to fool me. And we won't be having it. We won't be having it. All right, let's go here. Okay, I'll go there, there. We've done 2. We've done 4. We're going to play number 3. I'm going here. We are jerry-rigging. No, wrong thing. Play number 3. Thanks, everybody, for bearing with me. If you are. I guess if you're here, you are bearing with me. Oy, oy, oy. All right, and then I go back to here, and I go back to live mode. That's all set. So, Thomas, usually if you have a flagrant foul situation, we're going to, if it's an obvious excessive contact situation, we're going to default to intentional foul signal. And then from there, we can always do the heave ho if we're doing it on the spot, like it's an obvious action, right? Intentional with the finger point. It would be a common way that officials go about it. We may be in a situation where we're going to come together as a crew and make that determination, and then just simply inform go and report. We'd report it as a flagrant foul. Yes. Mike's exactly right. It's like we're not worried about the minutia there in that situation. Okay. All right. What would I do? Okay. New scene. All right, next play. Let's take a look. All right, illegal screen ruled. A great play to look at. Love this play. Right, our trail official on ball. Play goes away. The official steps down. Excellent habits. A rotation, no. Official stays with his on-ball matchup. Picks up the additional screening action. Rules. Team control foul. No shot. Let's look at all of the things. Wow. So first of all, let's judge the legality of the screening action on this play. We do have screening action here. A little extension, a little arm push, and then we have a moving opponent. Screener steps in, contacts the opponent. The shot is waved off. Has the ball become dead on this foul? Let's look at all the things. Pretty good crowd. Sort of. Good energy in the building. Right, so we have this screening action here. Right, we have an extension of the arm, a lean. No call on this play. On this screening action here. Ooh. 3-point shooter. Our player in white is illegally contacted. Let's go back. Right, so our defender here is a moving opponent. When we're screening a moving opponent, we must give time and distance. There is illegal contact on that screen. Does this try get released before the contact If it was, this would not be a team control foul, and the result of the try would count. Does that happen? It's something we have to be aware of on this play. Let's take a look. Boy, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. But I believe that this is the correct ruling on this play, that the contact occurs prior to the release. Yes, right? Ball's in the hand. That's something we'd want to have on this play. If you were the off-ball official in this instance and you knew the try was released prior to the contact, right, that goal will count, and we're going to have to come to that official in that situation, right? Right? Our official is processing, and makes a ruling, right? This is a play that involves some processing. We have illegal contact. We are going to wipe the play. Yeah. So that's a good play to look at. Not something you see every day. Was our defender? What were they going to do from there? All they were going to do was foul the shooter the way they were running at them. Interesting that the illegal screen sort of saved them in this instance. But a great play to look at. We love looking at plays. That's why we do 5 Play Friday. Analyze your own game video, as that is the best way to get better rapidly as a basketball official. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh, I solved the tech. A good play to look at. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's go there. Wow. Wow. I'm killing it today. Boy, oh boy. Dave, are we talking about the NCAA women's play? Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on this play, Mike, to get any help, right? This is sort of the dark corner play. If you are an official at either center or lead on this play, can you, have a strong sense of whether it occurred before or after? It's a situation where we're looking at a player shooting. It's just tough. It's a tough angle. It's far away. Let's see if they were right. Our lead didn't have anything, but didn't seem to. I mean, first of all, you have to be looking out there to help. So I'd say that would be unlikely that we would do that in that situation, but certainly in other situations, and push, depending on where the play occurs on the court. Brett asks why continuous motion did not apply. Ooh, that's a great question, Brett. When does continuous motion apply? When there is a foul by any defender. Defender fouls. Continuous motion applies. This is not a foul on a defender. It is a foul on a teammate of the player attempting to release the try. That is why it would not apply. Yeah, it's going to be tough all the way around. Yeah, so the habits and fundamentals of the calling official, right? It always comes up when you make a ruling on the court. Don't turn away. Don't turn away, right? Because there can be retaliatory action by players, etc. Just as a habit and fundamental, not great, right? It also makes it extremely difficult to come to your partner and have information about a play if they exhibit that habit and fundamental. In this situation, he felt it was obvious. He felt he had the whole thing under control, etc., and has that, that action built into his game, right? So what would we want in this situation is staying open to the players, wiping, not being interested with it, communicating to the table, communicate to the game, wiping, player control or team control going the other way. Right? If we can get our hands right, if we put our left hand behind our head, then we can stay open to the court. These are all the refinements we can make in our habits and fundamentals. Right on, Brett. Okay, cool. All right, so I have to do that that rigmarole thing where I'm setting up a scene in advance. A couple more plays. All right, this is a good one. I'll go here. I'll go back to live mode. I will go here. All right. We've got enough going on with this wacky episode. All right, I'm ready. I think we're on play number 5. Next play. Right, our new lead not really engaged with what is potentially going to happen next. Ultimately ends up at a spot on the floor that's a good
free throw. He knocks it down. That's why free throws are so clutch, ladies and gentlemen. Making it a 2-possession game here. They gotta hit a 3, and they need a stop. Deep 3 from Spears. He knocks it down. A huge shot from Jack Spears, knocking down a deep 3. So clutch.
All right. Ball goes in the basket. White has the ball at their disposal. White avoids the ball in an attempt to allow the clock to run. The official recognizes this action, puts a whistle on the play, and assesses a delay of game warning on the throwing team. Is that the correct ruling in this situation? No. No, it is not, right? Our instruction here is to, when the ball is in our judgment at the disposal of the throwing team, we are to begin a count whether or not the team has the ball, is holding the ball or not, right? That would be the correct adjudication of this play. Simply begin the throw-in count. The team would have 5 seconds to release a throw-in onto the court, and if they failed to do that, it would be a throw-in violation. So in this instance, we have erroneously stopped the clock and we have erroneously assessed a delay of game violation, right? We've done that. We were under pressure. It was an end of game scenario, and we have done that. You are on this crew. Are we going to allow this to be a delay of game violation? Do we know the correct ruling in this situation? Is this one of the areas for delay? Right? The official is going to make a judgment about when the ball is available to the team for the throw-in, and when it does, at that point, the ball will become live. In this instance where White avoids the ball, right? Let's take a look at it. Right? The ball is caught by one player. He knows he's not the thrower and releases it in the direction of a player who is to be the thrower. The player who is to be the thrower sees the ball and says, wait a minute, if I don't pick it up, then the clock will continue to run, and that's their advantage. Perfect, right? But the ball was available to the team. The officials should begin their count, and they would have 5 seconds.
A huge shot from
So
Jack
our partner
Spears.
has put
Knocked
a
it down
delay
to
of game
deep
violation
three.
erroneously into the game. Do we have any opportunity to correct that, or is that in stone now? Right? We have the ability as a crew, and we should go to our partner and say, partner, I think we've made a mistake here. This is not a delay of game violation by rule, and we should correct it. Right? It's an inadvertent whistle. The ball will be available to White for a throw-in, but we should take that out of the game. Or we could just say, well, look, there's 5 seconds left in the game. What can happen? What can possibly happen? Right? So we've made a mistake in this scenario. The correct ruling should have been to simply begin a 5-second count. At the end of the game, when the time is compressed, right, there's a lot of pressure on us. Right? The official steps out of bounds. They begin their count. Something unusual happens. The coach is right in his ear saying, you got it, that has to be something. Right? We react to it and put a whistle on the play. What we want to do is know how to handle these situations so that we don't erroneously react in these situations. And it's tough. It's tough. It's not like, oh, this is really easy. We can fix this really easily. When the game is compressed, it puts a lot of pressure on us to be at our best, right? And that's why we analyze game video, look at rules, right? Constantly refining, sharpening the saw so that in these key moments of games, we can get things right. So a great play scenario for us to look at and know better for next time without it having happened to us. Without it having happened to us. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, Rick nails it. Yes, the writer's strike is impacting. Right? I think the official reacts to the energy of the defensive player saying, ref, that's something, you got to call that. Okay. Tony Dahl in the house. Good to see you, Tony. Count and start, and should start your count, right? So if we look at the play, right, we have to notice the action. So White catches the basketball out of the basket in a situation where the time is limited. Okay? That's critical in our decision making here. I would start my count right there. White had the throw in available and passed the ball to a teammate, right? The fact that they are holding the basketball is a factor on the play. They obviously had it available to them. And in this situation, we can't be lackadaisical about, well, but then he was, if this is in the first period and it's the first basket of the game, right? We're not going to have that same energy. But in this end of game situation, seconds count, right? And so we have to be good in this situation. So I would start once that player caught the ball and then just sort of released it meekly towards a teammate. I'm beginning my count, right? That's a cue for me that they had it available to them. And by rule, Jordan, by rule, we are to allow the team time to recognize that the ball is available and should be thrown in. right? But in this instance, that's if the ball just falls to the floor, right? We have to give them a moment by rule to allow that. If we detect, though, that they are in, once they say, oh, there it is, and then I'm not touching it, right? That's a cue as well. But Mike sums it up. It's all about officials' judgment. The delay of game warning has no impact on what kind of throw-in results in this situation. So it would be have the opportunity to move along the end line, not a designated spot throw-in. Brett, of course, that is the key. In this situation, this game went to double overtime, and in double overtime, there was a subsequent delay of game violation, which renders this inaccurate ruling even more impactful. I don't know that it affected the outcome of the game. This game was so rich with crazy end-of-game stuff. I will link to the episode if I ever get it in. Jacob's asking about whether we would allow a substitution, right? Once the ball is dead here, there's no restriction on, substitutes, timeouts, etc., right? Nothing in high school NFHS rules prevents subsequent action. All right, cool. Let's see. Let me do my little configuration effort here. Go here. Go here. Go here. Go here. Here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. We had it in our last 5-play Friday. The ball thrown from beyond the three-point line. Defensive player deflects the ball up and into the basket. The officials rule 2 points shall be awarded. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Of course, we know from last week, no. No, they were not. This is a 3-point goal by rule. This was not a try, but it is a ball that is thrown, passed, or shot from beyond the three-point arc that is contacted by a defender, and that ball ultimately passes through the basket. Officials at the National Federation of High School level are to rule that a 3-point goal by rule. So thank you, Tony Dahl, for submitting this clip, which is a great example of the play occurring in a high school game. Seeing it here will help us be better prepared when it occurs in our game, because everybody's a bit stunned when it happens. But by rule, the high school level, this is a 3-point goal by rule. All right, a great play. Thanks, Tony. Tony's on the stream. Hey. So there's lots of things to look at on this play, right? So first of all, contacting by a defender from within the 3-point arc when the shooter is outside has no bearing on whether it's a 3-point try or not as a rule. So if our defenders just simply jumped and blocked a try, just tipped it, but it still went in the basket. That would have no impact as well. But of course, in this situation, the player throwing the ball from beyond the three-point arc was not releasing a try. He was passing the ball to a teammate. That is where the rule clarification and understanding is critical. On this play, any ball thrown from beyond, any ball thrown from beyond the three-point arc that passes through the basket shall be awarded 3 points using National Federation of High School Basketball rules. This is different from the rules at other levels, where the fact that it was not a try in the official's judgment, right? So these are the variables on this play. So what is our correctable error time frame here? Let's say we are official on this game. We're processing, what did I just see? Hey, I saw this play on 5 Play Friday. We get down to the other end of the court. Stop play, right? We can get the play right. That ball was thrown beyond the three-point arc. We're going to score 3-point goals, or go to your partners because they may be like, what are you doing? We may need to have a discussion. But our correctable error time frame here would be, we have to discover from, right, the ball is dead now. The ball becomes live. This is our opportunity to correct before the ball becomes live again. So the ball's dribbling up here. Our brain says, hey, wait a minute, I figured it out. Stop play. We could still make the correction by rule, but that is a 3-point goal by rule. Hey, thanks for joining us today for 5 Play Friday, a look back to next season. Thanks for joining us today for 5 Play Friday, looking back to last season for best of. Looking at plays, getting better as basketball officials. Until next time, take care. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, Billy Mack, we will be discussing new rules. Yeah, Tony's like, hey, wait a minute. I recognize that. That is a great question, Billy Mack. That is a great question. Stay tuned. Well, we got it wrong. And how many? All right. So let's say on any given Friday night across the country, how many high school basketball games are there that occur? Thousands and thousands, right? How many crews are going to get this play right? It's a small percentage. I mean, it's just one of those plays. It's completely non-intuitive, and we can certainly, and something you never see, and something that we can maybe have a far-off awareness from other levels. I know there was, an NCAA play, and they didn't allow it or whatever. Oh no, Dave! Do not tell me that. Do not tell me that. Association officer wasn't even aware it had changed. Oh. So if we're looking, I'll tell you what, if we're looking at, I could do that. Hold on. Let me see what I can do here for you. I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's review the 4 throw-in spots here on the live stream. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. One of the points of emphasis this year is proper throw-in locations. Of course, we have new throw-in location rules for front court throw-ins this year for 23-24, so let's get after it. New this year, a point of emphasis, throw-in locations. Of course, we always want to use the proper location for a throw-in. That's obviously a key component for fairness in the game. And coaches design specific plays for different throw-in spots. So we want to make sure that we are in the proper spot. We don't want to take an advantage away from a team that should have an end line throw-in by taking it out on the sideline. An end line throw-in will produce more points on average than a sideline throw-in play. So we want to be aware of those. And it's essential for us to be diligent for administering the ball at the correct spot. That's the bottom line. That's our job, some would say. So with changes to the rules, we need to be aware of the proper throw-in locations. It may take some getting used to, but this is something that we can always accomplish as a crew, right? If one official thinks is erroneous in the moment, our crew can help them out and help them with a designated spot. So let's understand that for an out-of-bounds violation, out of bounds, offense caused it to go out of bounds, defense caused it to go out of bounds. The ball will always, always, always be inbounded at the spot where the ball went out of bounds. Nothing's changed. Out of bounds. That is the rule. That makes things simple. If we have a throw-in that's not an out-of-bounds violation, the officials have to ask themselves, where did the violation foul location of the ball when the whistle blew? Where was it? Was it in the front court or was it in the back court? Right? If we answer these questions and we know the answer, then what happens next becomes really simple and straightforward. If a team is awarded a throw-in in their backcourt, the ball will be nearest the spot of the foul, the spot of the violation, or where the ball was when the ball became dead. Exactly the same as the out-of-bounds rule in the backcourt. Spot nearest, just the same as it's always been for decades, right? Really simple and straightforward. But if the throw-in awarded to the team will be in their front court or adjacent to their front court, then the ball will be thrown in at one of four spots, either the 28-foot line on either side of the court or the nearest spot 3 feet outside the lane line and the end line. Of course, previously, our guidance for an end line throw-in that occurs in the lane is going to be at the juncture of the lane line extended and the free throw and the end line. Right, so here are our four spots. We've got the 2 spots at the 28-foot line and the 2 spots 3 feet outside of the lane lines. Really simple, really straightforward. We're still using our diagram from the elbows to the corners of the court and the semicircle. Anything that occurs in that area will be an end line throw-in, and it's really important to be consistent about those. So, to review, right? If it is an out-of-bounds violation, front court, back court, doesn't matter. If it is an out-of-bounds violation, the ball will be inbounded to the appropriate team at the spot where the ball went out of bounds. Straightforward, simple, no debate. If the ball is going to be a backcourt throw-in, the ball will be inbounded at the spot nearest the violation, nearest the foul, nearest where the ball was when the ball became dead. Just as it has always been, right? Nothing has changed for a throw-in given to a team in their backcourt. Now, if the throw-in awarded will be adjacent to the front court, then the ball will always, for any stoppage other than an out of bounds, be at one of the 4 throw-in spots. Any throw-in that's adjacent to the front court that is not the result of an out-of-bounds violation will be at one of the 4 spots in the front court. All right. So, key takeaways are the simplicity of the rule is there, right? We just need to own it and understand it and be prepared for a learning curve, right? As the season starts, oh yeah, wait, we need to take the ball here, right? It could be a little non-intuitive, but we'll get the hang of it really quickly, and it's something that we can do as a crew. So just a reminder that if the ball becomes dead for any reason other than the out of bounds violation, and the result of the throw will be a front court throw-in, it will be from one of the 4 spots. Really, really important to understand. So that's our point of emphasis for throw-in locations, National Federation of High School 23-24 season. We are looking forward to the season. Let's get after it. Take care. All right, so here's the deal. Mike Connors, I thought of this exact same scenario. Just the other day, I'm driving along, and it's just like, well, wait a minute. If the division line is part of the backcourt and the offensive team just steps on the division line, they don't step into the backcourt, well, I guess they have by rule. Where would the resulting throw-in be? And will that be addressed? Right. So obviously, if we have anything out of bounds or backcourt, it's at the spot nearest. Anything in the front court, which I guess we're going to say by rule, or we're going to say by intuition here, it is a backcourt violation. It will result in a front court throw-in. Whether or not that front court throw-in was, in that, 2 inches or 3 inches that the division line is, or 4 inches. I don't even know. But it's so funny, Mike, that we are both rules nerds enough that we thought through this scenario. Oh, yes. I guess Brett's saying at the instant that the violation occurs, that yes, that would be our logic, Brett. That would be our logic. Jason, that is the takeaway. For any reason, right? Little kid runs on the court, the officials stop play. The team has team control in the front court. They're passing the ball between teammates, etc. And a little kid runs on the court, official stops play. We have front court status. Be a front court throw-in. It'll be at the nearest of the 4 spots. Team calls a timeout. Player dribbles from the back court, gets front court status by holding the ball in the front court. Coach calls a timeout, right? They are essentially going to be able to advance the ball to the 28-foot line in that situation. In end-of-game scenarios, that could be really interesting. It could be really important because, oftentimes a coach, will tell his point guard, hey, come here. I want to call a timeout. Get to here in the front court. And so that'll be interesting. So timeout, right? A point that was brought up, one we have to think through, is balls being passed among teammates in the front court. A deflection, ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be at the free throw line extended. Coach calls a timeout. They set up their the resulting right. So the resulting throw-in. Where is our resulting throw-in? No, that's not the scenario. Ball goes out of bounds. The player has the ball available to them. They're looking for a teammate. The official's counting. The coach says, timeout, right? To prevent a 5-second violation. And then the teams go to their benches. Where will the resulting free throw be? It is a throw-in with front court, right? But what caused the original throw-in scenario in that instance, an out-of-bounds violation, that throw-in spot would not change in that situation. That's the most unique one I think that I could think of. Actually, I didn't think of it. Somebody else thought of it. Yeah. So there'll be situations that occur that are non-intuitive, right? This is a non-intuitive rule for officials who've been officiating high school basketball. It's non-intuitive, right? Wait, right? So we have if we look at our, uh, let's go. One of the points of emphasis this year, it right. Let's say a player is dribbling. They are outside of our, spaceship shape towards the sideline. They're maybe 8 feet from the end line, and uh, there's a held ball situation, and they retain possession. So they will receive an alternating possession throw in the front court. Does it go to one of the 4 spots? Is it a throw in the front court? Yes. Yes, it will go to one of the 4 spots. Which spot would it go to? It would go back out to the 28-foot line. Right? The big movement from where it used to be right there, but now it's 20 feet away. Right? That's something they're gonna take some getting used to for experienced officials, right? And of course, anytime there's a significant rules change, it's a great opportunity for young officials, new officials who have not had, the past way we did things. They're not affected by that. I'm a new official. It's one of the 4 throw-in spots. It's all really simple. What's the big deal, right? I learned this now, and they can really help their thank you, Billy Mack, the rocket ship. I've got a spaceship. Come on, it's like, from Outer Limits back in the day. That's what the spaceships were shaped like. But new officials are like, hey, partner, it's one of the 4. It's one of the 4, right? I think we have to have a way to communicate one of the 4, right, as a throw-in spot. Yeah, how about a little pinstripe, right? Yeah. All right. I appreciate everybody who's made it this far. What a disaster to start the stream. But we found some ways to cobble things together and get through it. This one is going to be all about what happens in post. Yeah, my good one works. All the sports. Cool. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I will say goodbye. I hope everyone has a great one. We'll see about when we start with Basketball Rules Expert or Masterclass Mondays. Those will be coming soon, but we're deep in it with other projects at the moment, some of which will be in the show descriptions of the edited versions of the video. We've got some video training available to basketball associations. We're working on that with our elite tech team. Yeah, so if there was a change of possession on a held ball situation in the front court, then it would go to the opponent. Then it would be a backcourt throw-in. It would be at the spot nearest the point of the held ball. Yes, yes. Thank you, Billy Mack. I hope your chickens are still producing. It's late in the season. They may be slowing way down. Wait, you still have chickens, yes? Thanks. Yes. Let's give Greg a round of applause. He got through it. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. We are trying. We need to do better preparation. That's the bottom line. We need to have a better pregame with the tech team. Okay. All right. There you have it. We are going to wrap it. Everyone have a great one. We'll see you next week.